and then powder would set it. Primer, if it's built into the like CC cream, don't worry about it. If you're gonna do a primer on top of it, you would probably do the primer and then the CC cream and then foundation. That's a lot of work though. So I would just do like CC cream and then do your powder or liquid, whatever, evening out. Because the primer essentially is softening the texture and kind of evening out and moisturizing. It's kind of like helping the skin, and then the makeup is meant to like even out and enhance and do whatever. So all those, it's more of a skincare kind of. CC cream is like a brand of kind of like a hybrid of both. So that's why it kind of like cuts out on time.
So can I ask about concealer for a second?
Yes.
For under eyes?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of sleepless nights lately. I'm really getting very purple underneath. So I got a yellow tinted base concealer.
Yes.
Is that the right thing to do when you've got a lot of purples?
Yes and no. The problem is that when you're color correcting anything, so bigger tattoos, dark circles, anything, you need a color to get rid of the dark color you're trying to contrast. So yellow can work with purple, but then you obviously need a color that's your skin color to go over top of it, or it's just going to look yellow.
Okay.
So, you know, whether it's like that salmon warm color, usually if you're getting rid of purple, it's usually easier to do with something that has a bit more warmth, like pinkiness almost in the concealer. So salmon, like those, I find a little bit. Again, it depends on the person though. So I use at home a palette like this from MAC. Where is it? So they came out with this palette that has like multiple colors in it. So I will use like this slightly pinkier one to get rid of the purple, and then like a lighter one to brighten, depending on how tanned I am. Pardon? Mix them together? Yeah, I just mix them. Or I'll do like, if you're really trying to get rid of the dark circle, you want the color that's got a bit of pink to go over just that area where the darkness is, to get rid of that first, and then go over with usually a shade lighter than your skin tone, something that brightens, and goes over top.
So there is one from Body Shop that's called Eye Brightening or something, and it has a reflector in it.
Okay.
And
like a reflector already just in it.
Yeah. So it's like you match it to your skin.
Yeah.
But it brightens the skin.
Okay.
So I've been putting that on top. So that's
that might work. As long as the concept of like evening out the color and then brightening, it's either in 2 steps or 1. It depends on how dark it is.
Okay.
I use 2 concealers. Like this one works good, but I also use a cream concealer. One that I really love is the MAC The Moisture Cover. I've been using this for years, and it's just it's a creamier texture. That one can get a bit more matte, and it can get a bit heavier sometimes. So it just depends. Sometimes I'll use that with the to cover, but then I'll use my lighter one in this to highlight. So it depends on the person, to be honest. But these ones are Moisture Cover by MAC. I really like them because the texture looks like skin.
Moisture Cover. And then what's the one in the with the shade?
So this is the Pro Concealer palette from MAC, and it comes in like, I don't know, just light, medium, dark. But anyways, really, it's good for me for a kit too, because I can do like anyone with this. I can like, you know, I don't have to carry like
18 of them,
a million colors. You're just mixing a lot. You definitely, I mean, with glasses and stuff too. Here, well, let's go in with a lighter concealer and just brighten a little bit. So this one is definitely lighter than her skin, because if you go too light too quickly, so if you've got darkness and then you go in with something that's too light, it goes ashy, it goes purpley, it makes you look more tired. So if you go in with something first to even it out and then go over like your skin and brightening it, it's going to look totally different. And less is more. Most people use way too much eye product. They'll put tons here and then they rub it and then it all ends up out here. It makes no point. So, you know, when you're doing it, just do where you need it. No, you didn't. You started, you're fine. But when you, like, step back from yourself, after you've done your tint, your foundation, look and see where you actually need it. Most people only need it, like, right here. So if you're taking that light highlighter color, just do it in that area. Like, when you look at her, like, that's the area that we want to brighten. So let it set. The longer you let it set, the thicker it'll get. So I will sometimes just, you know, go in. Now this is a little bit backwards because normally I would have put the powder over to set it, but that powder is pretty versatile, so you can kind of do either. So we'll just go in. You can use your finger just to kind of press it in. Just don't rub it too much. You can get bristles that are really soft and synthetic. This is where I'll use that fluffy white brush, the 217 that I showed. I'll use that sometimes to just buff on concealer. They have specific brushes now that will do the same thing. They're like a dual fiber, so they've got the really fine synthetic bristle and then the real hair to kind of stabilize it. And you can basically like airbrush it on. That works too. But you can just use your fingers. Like if you're being simple, then just use your fingers. But that, like now, like when you look, like that totally pulls that area that was sunken in forward and just brightens without a ton of product. Look in the mirror, let's see.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That just made you look wide awake.